This is the key to scaling. This is the key to duplicating. Are you ready for it? It's using checklists. And let me explain. My name is Seth. I'm with a company where I've been with them for the past 16 years. We started out with just a few employees. I was one of the original employees. I think I was employee like number seven or nine. But fast forward, we now have 130 employees, and our revenues started at less than $1 million and have grown to approaching $100 million now. That all happened based on duplication. We duplicated ourselves, and we did that through a series of checklists. And what's important about checklists is this. This is the main and most important part of why you should have checklists, is because checklists allow your clients to experience the same thing over and over again. Checklists, a lot of times, are just a bunch of if-then statements. They're a bunch of questions. The checklist is literally, a written down thought process on how to do something so that the customer gets the same experience over and over again. And if you're frustrated as a business owner or a manager that things aren't getting done a certain way, or you're getting more client complaints, maybe the quality isn't what it used to be when you were doing it, it's probably because you don't have a specific enough checklist. I got to the point where every time there was a mistake, I would think, what can we do? What can we put in place so that this mistake never happens again? Every time we have a problem, every time we have what I called a service failure is when the client's expectations weren't met, or their expectations were disappointed. Why were they disappointed? What can we do in the future to make sure that their expectations aren't disappointed? It's through a series of checklists, a series of questions. And what this does for you is it frees up your time. You literally, if you have a good enough checklist system in place, you can now have way more time to do other things because somebody else is running the checklist. And if you have employees that are good at following checklists, they're good at following instructions, they like to check things off, they like to see progress being done by going down the list, you're gonna have a culture and a system where your clients get a great experience every single time without you having to be involved. It literally is how you can duplicate yourself. This is scaling. Like if you want to scale to where you're not the one that has to do the action or provide the service for your clients, then the checklist is the tool to scale. And it can be done in every department. And I'll give you an example of like in our accounting department where we have some checklists in place. When you're growing, a lot of times you're spending money quicker than you normally do. And we would find this out the hard way sometimes. We're growing and the employees are using their credit cards to purchase fuel or purchase services and stuff like that. And several times we would max out our credit cards before the payment was due. And one time it happened after hours where we fly airplanes and we had to buy fuel, and the pilots were trying to buy fuel with their credit card and the credit card declined. So in order for this not to happen again, this is what we did. We just added this to our accounting checklist item as the person that's responsible for paying the credit card, they have to check the credit card balance once a week. And we made that day on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, when they come into work, they look at the credit card's balance, and if they're if we are 75% or more approaching our limit. So let's say our limit was $100,000 on our credit card. If we were at 75,000 on the credit card, then they had to make a payment, so that it gave us room to make it till when the rest of the payment is done. But that little step right there, we never had an issue again after that. So as business grew, we were starting to approach our credit card limit faster and faster before the payment was due, and our operation didn't come to a halt. We didn't have to go to alternative, payment methods because we had a little checklist system in place, and it identified that we either need to make multiple payments a month, or maybe we need to just increase our credit card limit. But that all came about with a simple checklist item. And those are just one other accounting checklist item that we put into place was an aging report. There's we never really had a system for collecting money, and most of our clients pay. We don't really have an issue with clients not paying, but there certainly are some that are slow pay, and we did have some clients that had terms, and they got really slow on paying, and we never had a system to really address it sooner. The owner of the company, he would just make some phone calls when it came to his mind, or he saw somebody was like really late on paying us. So rather than waiting until somebody is really delinquent, we just came up with a checklist item for collecting money. And it was simple. One day a month, or not one day a week, we did on Tuesdays again, we just ran an aging report. And we did that, and now the collections happen a lot sooner. We're identifying maybe some potential client problems a lot sooner, rather than just waiting on memory. But it's a checklist, it's a system, it's scalable. If we bought another company, we could put this into place. And that's the beauty of checklist, is it allows you to do the same processes over and over, which allows you, which creates duplication. You can duplicate this process, and that is scaling. So, hey, I want to encourage you, check out my website in the link. I go more in depth on that. But thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one.